Guys, let me get your attention once again. Thank you for you guys talking amongst yourself for a brief moment. I appreciate that stall tactic. What you have in front of you is basically how to make a proposal while working at Midtown. So anytime you get assigned a project or there's an opportunity that you have, ideas that you want to present, or a problem that you notice that you want to bring a solution to this potential problem. It stems back to something that Steve sent out a while back that we have referenced it multiple times in the past, just because it really is super helpful. It's just the idea of being a great employee, and what does that mean? Because the reality is your boss has decisions that he's trying to make regularly, constantly, and making decisions can be really hard in terms of living with consequences to bad decisions. That is extremely weighty. So whenever a decision is getting made, the questions that get asked are: did we get all the information we needed? Is it relevant? What scenario did we not think of? Is the information that we have accurate? How did we communicate it? When do we do it? How do we do it? Who does it? Why should we do it? So every decision prompts dozens of questions that need thoughtful answers. And where are our employees in the midst of this? So your boss has to think about these items. What should great employees do? When those questions are being asked and answered, what is your role in them? And so I actually want all of our employees to be great employees. And the way I'm defining that, for this conversation is thinking like your boss thinks, asking those questions, answering those questions with well thought out, researched solutions. So good employees bring up problems to their boss's attention. It's, hey, this thing is not good, just want to let you know about it, and I'm going to go ahead and continue with my day. A great employee brings a problem and a well-researched, well thought out proposed solution to the boss's attention. So the meeting should actually go more like this: hey boss, that's how I call you, boss, we got a problem. Here's the data on how big this problem is, and here's what happens if we do nothing. Here's what I propose we do about it, and here's why I think it's a good solution. Here's my support to show why I came to this recommendation. And the meeting ends with a very simple request from the great employee, you: do I have your approval to make this problem go away as I proposed? Bosses love this kind of meeting. They still make changes, but you look amazing in the meantime. This is you being a great employee. They get awareness of an issue they didn't fully understand before, and with a single word, okay, the problem just goes away. So I want us to encourage, everybody in this room, I want everybody here to be great employees, to not just do the minimum. Don't think one day, yeah, I'll be the boss one day. Until then, I'm not going to operate and think like that. I'd actually argue, if you're not thinking like that now and being a great employee now, I don't know how effective you will be at whatever point you'll get that type of weight and responsibility. How effective you'll be, or if you'll even get there. So start being a great employee now. And for what that means for us, in terms of a tool that will help walk your brain through the process and how to be helpful to your boss in decisions. That's where this Midtown proposal template walks in, and I kind of want to walk through that with us. In summary, from your boss's point of view, there are two kinds of employees: those that add headaches to your to-do list, and those that make the headaches go away. And so this is your tool, cheat sheet, to make headaches go away. This is basically a step-by-step guide when you have an opportunity that you want to propose, or your boss hands you an assignment that they need to decide on. For example, Father's Day. We've got to do something special for dads. Boss says to an employee, come up with a proposal 30 days in advance before Father's Day that we can decide upon. And so in that proposal, you'll have three different options. You could have, say, all right, option number one We're going to have a picture with every kid with a suit and tie and a top hat, and there's a little poem that goes with it that says, "Dear Daddy, and all the things I try to do, I want to do them just like you. I love you. Happy Father's Day." And it's going to cost us $92 for $92. Well, you got to go through all the options. Option number 2, we could have a plate of bacon wrapped steak bites that we hand to dads as they walk through the auditorium. That'll cost $900. Or option 3, where we'll just escort all dads into a special room where they can just take a nap, and that'll cost us $0. Which option do we choose? And we'll get to discuss that 30 days in advance, make a decision, and that is a great employee providing an incredible asset to the boss in terms of decision making. So this idea is a tool that for anything we do, any event we do, any idea we have, if I want to upfit Barnwell, I want to do a proposal that shows different options with different construction quotes, different levels of renovation, bare bones, a fully upgraded one, a Midtown nice one, whatever, that we can actually look at. It's realistic, and we can decide which direction do we want to go. So that's the idea here. Couple notes I want to mention on what does it look like. So on the what does it look like section, first page, title page and table of contents. This is might seem a little nitpicky, but I want us to do this. And actually, I got confidence from Tim on this. The idea of doing a table of contents seems, oh my gosh, I'm doing back to school, doing my Dewey Decimal System research project. I don't want to do a table of contents. I didn't pay attention in school, I guess. It takes seconds, and it makes you look amazing. It's so accessible. It makes it very navigatable, and I'm actually going to show you right now how easy it is to use it in Google Docs. So, let me get my screen over here. Okay, too easy. Literally, all you have to do is, you see this little box up here? Whatever headings you want, you just change the text, and you can change the formatting to it. But heading 1 is communicating to the table of contents. That is a main heading. So I did introduction. I was talking about these are actually my notes that I was using, so you can see what I was trying to say. Now I transitioned to Midtown proposals. That's going to be section 2, but so same main level heading. Now I'm in the last notes section heading, and then it's got subheadings under that. So that I've only done heading 1 so far. Now I'll just do heading 2. Table of contents, timely. Sorry, I know this is nitty gritty, but you're going to be an expert at this after I'm done. All right, now all the heavy lifting's been done. We'll go to the top. We will click Insert, Table of Contents.
What?
Boom, and it creates your table of contents in a matter of seconds. Seconds in terms of effort. Maybe milliseconds. I don't know. I don't know how the appropriate calculation. And it is so helpful to navigate. It is incredibly helpful.
What about time, babe? Can you create that, babe?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Well, that's just
Prove it. Prove it.
Apple Enter.
Prove it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
He's got it.
How do I do the space break?
Click
There it is. Apple Enter. Command Enter. Then you just do title page here, and then whatever title you want to name this. It could be Barnwell Renovations. It could be Father's Day Proposals. It's very functionally easy to use. It upgrades, the quality level of your report. It's helpful, and it makes you look amazing in a matter of seconds. So, win. Okay. No, I'm not done yet, but thanks, man. I appreciate the intermix.
Sorry, didn't have a table of contents.
No, that was my fault. Okay, I want this to be done in advance. I want supervisors to start assigning these to employees and say, hey, I need a proposal, Midtown proposal, you can even use that, Midtown proposal on blank. I want it to be done at least 30 days in advance. If your boss did not specify a timeline, no, you clarify it, but no, it will be done 30 days in advance. So Father's Day is an assignment. I need to have this turned in 30 days in advance, even if my boss didn't tell me when I needed to do that. So I want us to start being timely with that, and bosses can actually say, why are you late? Oh, you didn't give me a date. You know it was supposed to be done 30 days in advance. All right, still in this, all right, steps to do report. So you'll see a couple helpful guides to kind of explain your thought process and how you should go about thinking through the initial stage to all the way to completion. So define opportunity / problem. This is, so Father's Day example, opportunity / problem. This is taking a step in developing trust with our families is the opportunity at hand with doing something for Father's Day. Step 2, desired outcome, to make dads feel loved and thought about. So that's our desired outcome to address the opportunity at hand. Now the proposal is the nuts and bolts. We'll do sausage and pineapple kebabs when they enter the gathering as one of the options. You can have a myriad of options with the budgets and details included in that. Something that Courtney's been working on with women's ministry. So an opportunity is equip women to read the Bible who are not spending time with Jesus in Bible. And the problem, it could be women grumble that we don't have a women's ministry. So that's the opportunity / problem. The desired outcome would be we want to train women as upfront leaders in our church. So equip women to read the Bible and understand it, to give other women in our church examples of who are women that are in upfront leadership roles that are visible, that they can mimic and copy, is the desired outcome. And the proposal, how we go about accomplishing that. Bible study seminars led by Courtney and Erica Ludovina. We could do a conference for women with potential future women leaders that we see. So I hope you are getting to see starting with why will be really helpful in driving what your proposal ultimately ends up being. Don't just start with the proposal. And then step 4, make it accessible, do a table of contents, formatting matters. And then step 5, don't turn in a sloppy rough draft. A good rule of thumb is if your supervisor has no edits or changes, if they say just run with it, would you be happy with that? And I think that would help clarify of like, do I even want this to be approved yet? Don't just rely on your boss to bail you out and say, well, here's the things that you need to improve upon. Actually have it be presentable where you actually hope they say thumbs up, go roll with it.
For step 3, Chris, the proposal part.
Yep.
It may be just as we're continuing to roll this out, if we could break that down maybe a little bit more and give some specific categories. So things like what's the timeline or deadline. So more if it's an opportunity, making sure it's when am I saying this would be done by? Who is the person accountable for this?
Yeah, like
so,
a template or something. We have like
yeah, there you go. Who's the person accountable? So it may not be me that is I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not proposing that I would do it. I want someone else to do it. I'll be the person accountable, or I want this person to be the person that's accountable. For communication, so you had some stuff about communication, but a part of the proposal would need to be who would we need to communicate this to? How will we communicate this to them? You know what I mean? Just maybe some of those kinds of things come to mind initially, and we could talk a little bit more about that. But just making sure that that part is has the right details in it.
Yep.
Because that's part of the. Sometimes people will say, "I had this idea. Let's do this thing." Okay, how are we going to tell everybody about that? And how are we going to advertise it? And how are we going to recruit people? It becomes a pretty big issue that I'd love for somebody else to think through and propose, as opposed to no.
Yeah. That actually is a really good suggestion. Any other thoughts or questions? Truthfully, While I am presenting this idea, it is kind of all of us kind of walking along this path of, if this is what we're going to be doing, this is, collectively we are figuring this out together. And so any other thoughts or questions that would be helpful to clarify as we're moving forward in this direction? I do have an example. These are proposals that Tim has actually done in the past, and truthfully, he's the origin of this idea to even say this is the way we want to be doing things. So he had
show us your template.
I want to open.
Thank you.
We've got two different proposals that I'll walk you through. This is a very short one, very short table of contents with who, what, where, why, and when on creating invite cards for Easter. Is it Easter?
It was just for in general, like
Okay.
we're looking at doing invite cards for gatherings, the business.
Sure. So it took this form, who, what, where, it put all the detail on one page and then just had examples with pictures on the second page. Was super helpful and was able to say, can I move forward with this or not? A more detailed example was just an event. He was doing core group retreat. He did his table of contents with scheduled sessions, menu, grocery list, packing list, place to stay, and budget, and just included all the detail, the schedule. Here are the sessions that we're going to be doing. Here's the menu that we're going to have, grocery lists, packing lists, places to stay, and then lastly, budget. I think we should do this for every event, and we should have this documented so we can use it in future years. We can make notes, and that's where we collect all of the information that we just brainstormed after a trip is over, like staff retreat, and then we can pull out this proposal, do file, save as, and now we've got a new proposal to turn in advance for the upcoming event. I think this is a no-brainer. I think it'll step up our level of competency and sharpness if we start documenting things in this way, communicating things in this way, proposing things in this way. Make sense? Cool. Before I, cut it short, any questions that would be helpful to clarify?
That's available.
Yeah, that's what I Where do we get access to this? The template and the information. So when we want to make a proposal, it's already built in. The template is built, and I can just
Read stuff.
yeah.
It is in our teaching project management folder for leadership development. I can email this, but I don't know if that's a long-term accessibility option.
Midtownmoney.com.
/ staff resources.
That is the obvious place to put it. Yeah, let me figure out a place to put it.
Yeah, I think everybody can find it. From
Yep, that's a great idea. Make a quick note.
But that's having a grocery list. That's a whole nother level. Because then it's whatever the thing is. You just anybody can do it. Because I know exactly what to buy. I know exactly how to. That's awesome.
And anything that goes poorly, you just edit there, so
That's
the
right.
next person knows
That's right.
exactly how to do it, but better than even you did it.
We need a place also to store them then? Like how do we have access to previous proposals? Is that what?
We could
Yeah.
even make a folder in Google Drive that has like by event, so staff retreat
Present
would have,
proposals.
you put each year, so you can look through, and you could even add a section in the budgeting, like which line is budget line item. That way when we're making our budgets, we can just look at the event from last year and see when we're tweaking.
Definitely need to put dates in the document for continuity.
I don't know if you can do this in, Google Doc, but like on Sheets, you can have the tabs. So like whenever we do a series planning, we can just copy that to a tab, and that way we can look through all of our past things we did, and I don't know if there's a way to do that.
Or just save it,
That's another
same
thing.
file, name, but just with a different year. Staff Retreat 2018, Staff Retreat 2019. Cool. Yeah, definitely want to make that accessible. Those are good notes. Thanks, guys.
Sweet. That's good stuff.
Cool. Thanks, y'all.
Any, questions?